Wake up, play them. Wake up, live them. Wake up, play 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 them. Now shut up. Welcome to the Grizzled Game Cliches. I am Justin Williams, and with me, as always,
Matthew Stallcop. I don't know why there was a pause, but hey, I'm rolling with it. We're doing it.
You know what? Yeah, it's the suspense is going to kill him.
Yup. Oh man, it's good to be back. It's going to be a great day.
Episode 5, Ubity.
What?
To be continued.
All right. So
I don't want to give it away yet. You know, we're going to talk about it later.
Sure.
I want to make sure that it, comes naturally.
You got to have a little bit of suspense, and
comes all natural. One might say.
I am not justifying that, Justin.
Don't you pun me. All right, so right into the podcast talk today. Guess what? We have a new social media presence. To go along with our Twitter, @ClichéGamers, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/ClichéGamers, our Tumblr, is our new feature. And actually, I just rolled into it like it wasn't, but it is. It's clichégamers.tumblr.com.
Check us out on Tumblr. Actually,
Tumblr...
tell me about Tumblr, because I have never used Tumblr. And I'm being totally serious. I've never used Tumblr. I have no idea what Tumblr is.
Here's what I really enjoy about Tumblr. Tumblr is just a place you can post anything at all. And you can easily repost pictures that you like and songs that you like and other things like that.
Is it like Twitter?
Tumblr for me, no, because there's no character limit. Tumblr for me is kind of just more an easier expression. That's what I would say. Like, just go on there and be like, I like that, and then post it, because that's, like Twitter is it's a hard thing to post, and then you have to be like hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag this.
Yeah, plus that 140 character limit, man. Oof.
It sucks,
especially when you're posting the link to something. That's kind of annoying.
Yeah, you have to go to, what is that, small link
tiny URL? Tiny URL.
Yeah, that's the one, tiny URL. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool, man. I'm gonna check our Tumblr out.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I don't know what I'm going to use Instagram for. I'm going to get it. I think I have one now. But I don't know what to post. I mean, I could post pictures of screenshots.
I could post pictures of my cats. I could do cat pictures.
You know what? Let's dedicate Instagram to just cat pictures. Or pictures of your cats.
My cats actually have their own Instagram.
Oh, really?
If I had my phone on me, I would totally plug my cat's Instagram on our show here. But my phone's all the way over there, and I'm not getting up. I'm already locked in.
So I honestly think that's what we're going to do now. And what I'll do is I'll just go around with my cell phone and take pictures of the apartment cats.
Oh, because there are many. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just spend some money, invest in some cat food, you could get
dangerous.
Some more cats coming around. And then Jess will just take one inside one day, and then it'll be your cat.
Nope.
And then you'll just have a cat, Justin.
I don't want a cat. I'm a cat racist, as it turns out.
Gotcha. You're more of a dog person?
Yeah.
I am more of a dog person, and I love that I live with dogs now, because they're the best. They're dumb, but they're so great.
Yeah, I miss dogs, but
Today's podcast, we talk about pets. We're a pet podcast now.
You know what? Screw it. We're done. Screw games.
Yep.
Let's talk about the pets I don't own.
We'll be the Grizzled pet cliches.
Yeah, there we go.
I like that. That rolls off the tongue.
That rolls off the tongue. More like it.
Oh, man. Who lets that Matt guy talk? Let's not.
So what's going on, Matt? What have you been up to?
Oh, man. Just work. Got a new job.
Oh, hell yeah. So the interview went well.
Oh, my God. I've never been more intimidated, I think is the word. Because... oh my God, their kitchen's really nice, first of all. Second of all, the protein she picked for me was albacore tuna, which I've never cooked before. And you're working in a kitchen around, basically you're working around other people who they're all in the middle of like important stuff, and they're all kind of joking around, and then there's just like this guy off in the corner doing his own thing. It's weird. It was, yeah. And then at the end, you know, she had me present my dish to like pretty much the entire staff, which is really intimidating. You ever seen that show Chopped or any of those shows? Yeah. And then like, they're presenting their dish to the judges. That was basically what it was like, which I've never done that before. And I'm sure as I continue my career, I'm probably going to want to get used to that because I think it's going to happen a lot. But
for sure, yeah, that presentation, that's interesting. I wonder if that's like a newer development in the cooking world.
Well, and the other thing is that it's a fine dining restaurant, which I've never done fine dining ever, like at all. I mean, I've seen a lot, you know, of pictures and stuff, but I've never cooked fine dining food. So yeah, anyway, interview went well, obviously. I start actually next Saturday. So I'll do that podcast and then I'll just be on my way to work.
It's a good thing it's Turkey Day next week.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on with me. I've been trying to play games, but I've been having a hell of a time this week because we might get into that later, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, for me, I just basically what I was talking about last week. I finished the last big day of that project, I guess.
Nice.
And now I am cleaning the remains of that up over the next couple weeks.
I thought you were about to say you're cleaning bathrooms or something. I was like, man, that's not your job.
It's not happening. But we did actually get some awesome news about the renovation going on with the place. And
nice.
There's a lot of kind of like things still kept secret. So it has me excited for what this place is going to look like in March. Because it's coming up. You know, we basically have the new addition to the building built on now, and we're actually going to be more like closer to our team. Because right now quality is kind of like off in its own little area with finance.
You guys get put in a corner?
Yeah, nobody puts quality in a corner.
Do they at least, do they feed you? I mean, did they throw some food pellets at you or something? Or, I mean...
Not really.
Oh, no. Dude.
Actually, that's funny because my coworker Mel, she constantly feeds me. Like, the other day I was sitting there just trying to, like, finish out something, and I was just so focused on the screen, you know, not walking away from my desk, taking breaks like I should.
Yeah, it's important.
And she, like, she walks up and drops, like, this little, like, some nuts and some cheese and something else. It's like a Sargento, I think. It's a little pack, and some dried berries. And then like 10 minutes or 20 minutes later, she walks by and drops off a banana. And so I'm just sitting there continuously working.
You
and
can't
she's just
starve, Justin.
Yeah, exactly. It was great.
You have to be good to yourself. You have to get up.
Shout out to Mel. Thank you for keeping me alive.
Yeah, she's going to listen to this and be super embarrassed.
Hopefully. Yeah. Well, so yeah, that's kind of my week. I'm excited to eat lots of turkey, like 3 times.
You know, yeah. I'm kind of excited because I'm going to the in-laws' place, and they're making Mexican turkey. That is what my mother-in-law has said. Mexican turkey.
What is that?
I don't know, but I'm oddly excited for it.
Intrigued.
Anytime I get to eat her food, I'm just like, maybe just like instead of stuffing it with actual stuffing, it's just gonna be like one giant tamale in the turkey cavity. They're just gonna like line it with masa, and it's just gonna be God, I'm so excited now.
Wait, what is masa? What is that?
It's basically it's ground up corn. That's what they make.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the when you eat a tamale, that's the stuff that's not the filling.
Right.
But not the corn husk. It's the stuff in between the filling and the corn. Anyway, you get it.
Yeah, it's the other stuff that's in there.
Ooh, maybe I'm gonna make tamales for dinner tonight. Anyway,
tamales for dinner.
Let's talk about video games.
Let's get into some game stuff.
Tell me, Justin, about Steep. I want to hear about it because I am so excited for that game right now, and you got me into it. So just
what a hidden gem! Like
seriously,
I had no idea it was going to kind of be as good as it is because
I didn't even know about it until you told me.
Well, it was like Ubisoft was like Watch Dogs 2 at E3, and then they were like, oh yeah, and Steep.
It was the bastard little redheaded stepchild that they kept in the corner.
Exactly.
Or the quality control department, as we call it around here.
You know what? Get out.
Sorry.
Get out.
Oh, boy.
No. It was weird because I saw it and I was like, this could be cool. Mm-hmm. And then I saw some gameplay stuff from E3 and I was like, it looks pretty rough.
Well, see, and I was the same way. I literally thought it was just a snowboarding game. It's just like, okay, it's, what is it, SSX Tricky? I was like, it'll be kind of fun, but it looks like it's a little bit more serious and open world because it's Ubisoft. And I was like,
Yeah.
And then I saw your video, and you literally had a wingsuit, and I was like, what the fuck? Why do
Not only did I have a wingsuit, I had a caribou head.
I know, like, what?
Yeah.
That game is, like, serious, but also slightly silly, which is just amazing.
It is. It's super serious. And then there are, like, these really, like, deep moments where I think they're called the mountain stories, where you're, like, running around, and it's like the first one you go on, you're following this snowboarder down a mountain, and it's telling you about this peak and like, kind of the impact of what had, like, the history of it, what had happened to it,
is
and
it
what you
in,
can
like,
expect
a
out of it.
Real world setting?
No,
okay.
It's not. And so, like, there's kind of like legends, I would almost say, is what they're more. Those are really serious and super Ubisoft, but not with bad writing. But the game itself is really fun because it's all about, so it kind of leads you by the hand in the beta when you start off to be like, here's what you can do. So you're just kind of bouncing on this mountain between point to point to point to do like races, to learn how to do tricks, jump on your snowboard, to do the parachuting stuff, to do the wingsuit stuff. And then it's like, okay, now it's your turn. And so you basically go on this mountain and you're just like walking around, and then you pull out your goggles and you look out and you're like trying to find interesting runs and peaks. And so you can discover stuff when you do that. And it will discover kind of a group of events in an area. And then you're leveling constantly from winning these events, bronze, silver, gold. And each time you level, you're unlocking gear. So, it has the carrot. But I think what really intrigues me is the zen quality of the game. The snow is gorgeous. And really? I played it on Xbox and I played it on PC. I started on the Xbox because I didn't want to spoil myself. And I think it looks great on both. The little fine details in the snow are kind of lost on the Xbox. But that said, this is the coolest looking snow I've seen in a game.
Well, and that's interesting because not a lot of games really focus on the snow. It's more of just like, well, here's the snowy area, and we put some white on the ground, and there you go.
It's like it's layered over concrete. Yay!
Well, and what I thought was interesting when I was watching that video that you posted,
which is on our YouTube.
When oh man, did we mention that?
Oh, we didn't mention our YouTube. Man, we've so many different places. All right. Anyway, we'll mention it. Don't worry.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway. When your guy is actually walking through the snow, he's actually walking through the snow, and there's actual like footprints. And then when you're on your snowboard and you're actually leaving behind a trail. I don't know why, to me, that's the coolest thing ever.
It is. It's absolutely because you're actually trekking. Like that's the feeling you get. Like, so you can stop at any time and then start walking. And sometimes maybe you won't have any good luck because you're on the side of a mountain and, gravity plays a part, and then you just ragdoll all the way down the mountain. But for the most part, you don't have that.
Die?
You don't have that. Yes.
Oh, okay. Good.
But you don't have that happen. What's interesting about Steep is it kind of plays to two types of gamer. So like for me, where I just want to like get on something with my friends, explore, and have a good time, that's where I see myself playing that game. It's much more just about that exploration and kind of figuring out my own events, my own challenges, and then playing through what they offer to get the cool gear. But
does it ever feel grindy at all? I mean, I know it's just the open beta, so it's hard to tell, but does any of that stuff feel like you're just grinding?
I'd say it's probably going to feel that way if you're just bouncing from point to point. If you're walking and you're actually exploring the environment, it's slow. But I did notice that there are like extra items, like there are ice picks and there are it's like ski poles for like cross country skiing and some other things that I noticed in there that I didn't get to use in the beta. So I'm kind of like, I don't know where that comes in, but I'm almost wondering if like you're going to be able to Tomb Raider, like jump into your wingsuit and then just grab your ice picks out of nowhere and stab into the side of a mountain and climb your way up.
What a world of video games we live in now.
I know. Anyway, the second part of that I wanted to say. So the first type of gamer is casual, right? Or more casual, I would say, and about that Zen experience. Just relax. The second part is for those people who really like extreme sports.
Right.
So like you get to do all these awesome events, and when you're done with them, you can actually go to the menu and hold X on Xbox controllers, and it will take you to the ability to look at your replay, and then you can actually switch cameras. So they have like a drone camera, and they have a GoPro.
Oh, that's cool.
And they have speed up, fast forward, slow down, like all that good stuff, and then position in a free cam sort of scenario. So you can make these amazing videos. This game was built to have awesome moments to share. And that's really why I want to play it.
Man,
when it comes out.
I'm excited to play it too. I'm installing it right after this podcast. It comes out December 2nd, 2016.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'm excited for... I mean, it's clearly a finished game. It's not a beta.
It's more like a demo.
Yeah, it's a demo. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Oh, no, me too. I mean,
more
whatever
games
they want
should
to
have
call
demos. I've been saying this forever. More games should do this. Please, every game do this.
I'm kind of wondering if that means that For Honor, that game is going to have an open beta like scenario, because I think it comes out in either March or February. So like at the beginning of February, I'm wondering if they're going to do a longer beta, because it is more like it's kind of like League of Legends or something, like a MOBA, because it has like an army behind you. So you have creeps that are running in and you need to position yourself and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that would be interesting if they did like a short little like multiplayer weekend kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that game even multiplayer?
For Honor?
Yeah.
It's all about the multiplayer.
I don't know much about it. So.
Oh man, it's so cool. It's all about different types of warriors.
Yeah, I was actually interested in that game because it looks almost Dark Souls-y to me, and I love Dark Souls. So
yes and no. I think you're right. I like the combat more than I like Dark Souls. I've never been a huge fan of the combat.
Dark Souls combat is a love-hate relationship. I don't even particularly love it.
Yeah, it's really satisfying when you
I love the challenge, I guess.
It doesn't feel easy to like pick up and hard to master sort of thing. It's just hard to pick up and hard to master. Right.
And it's also very gimmicky a lot of the times. Like you die, especially in Dark Souls 3, because it's a lot faster paced combat. You die to the dumbest fucking things. Like the dumbest. And then you'll get like, basically stun locked, and you're just like, oh, okay, well there goes an hour of progress. Fuck. Yeah. And I had no control over it because I didn't know this one dude was going to fall from the ceiling, and fuck.
Yep. I've had so many of those moments. I've never beaten one of those games because I just don't have the attention span to learn that combat.
I've beaten all of them. I'm so sad. I'm actually, that's a good game. Anyway, moving on. So Black Friday is going to happen before our next podcast.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot of really...
On our next podcast? I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, there's probably a lot of really great deals out there, but the one that I'm actually interested in, that I'm probably going to jump on if they have it online, is the new Nintendo 3DS for $99.99.
Yeah,
$100. And have you seen the like decal on the outside of it?
I've seen a couple of them. What one are you talking about?
It's so it's the Mario one. It's got all the what am I trying to say? Like it's kind of like a Mario decal on the outside, because it's
is
like
it the Paper Mario one, or is it?
No, I think it's like new Mario, like the 3DS Mario.
Oh, okay.
But no, I think this is a new design that they're coming out just for the Black Friday one. But what I'm curious about is whether or not you're going to be able to order it online. Mm-hmm. Because I am not standing in line anywhere. I mean, $100 3DS is great, but I'm not standing in line.
I imagine Amazon will have a few of them, but not many. Like just like the NES that just came out. Well,
and then I'm also curious to see, is this just a Black Friday deal, or is this just going to be their new going forward, type of thing. You know, you get your 2DS for $80, you get your $70, your 3DS for $100, and then your XL for whatever.
I think that this one is... Oh, and actually there's another bit in here that we need to talk about. But I think that this Nintendo 3DS sale is going to be the price after the Switch comes out, is what I'd say. Because they can still sell you on, you know, $150 or $130. I don't know what it's at now, but over $99.99. Mm-hmm. Even if they just bundle it with more games now, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. There's been a couple game sales that I've seen. I know Titanfall went on sale. Titanfall 2 went on sale for was that $33?
I know that game's been out for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
three weeks.
It says something about the player base. It seems like they just want to increase that as much as possible. I wonder if they're going to drop a DLC soon, like their first little pack.
And so is Titanfall 2 the one that the developers have said everything's free?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
They're like, you know those season passes? They're dumb.
Yeah. Which is great, because I hate that shit.
Oh, yeah, me too. And let's see, what other deals did I see out there?
Yeah, I was trying to find a few.
I want to say that there's some good, there are a lot of good gaming deals going on. And it's either Black Friday or right after Black Friday that the Steam, like it kind of fluctuates, but the Steam Winter Sale is also coming. So that's really probably where I'm going to save my money for. There are a couple items I want to get for Christmas, though, on Black Friday.
Yeah.
So you were speculating on Pokemon and the Switch?
Yeah. Well, I was reading a news story, and I forgot which. I think it was Engadget. Mm-hmm. And basically, they were saying that it's sort of like a half rumor because it's like basically. If I was actually a professional, I would have the news story up already, but because I'm not. They were basically saying that the team was working on 2 games. Game Freak was working on 2 games. They were doing Sun and Moon, and they were doing this other game. But once Sun and Moon was about to launch, they just kind of pulled everybody into Sun and Moon. But now they're working on the game for the Switch. And basically they were saying that it's going to be sort of like when you had... what is it? Like, was it Pearl? Or like Pokemon Yellow. Like you had Pokemon Red and you had Blue.
It was both of them.
Yeah, and then you had, you know what I mean? So this is going to be like that sort of...
It'll be the yellow, or, well, at least in theory, it would be the yellow of Sun and Moon. So what would that be in your mind? What would that be called?
I think they're...
Pokemon Earth?
Well, I think they're like... Here we go. I actually found it. Pokemon Stars.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one's actually from Destructoid, so it's probably a more decent article. But yeah. So yeah, it's basically going to be like their sort of like side, like, you know, not necessarily the next game, but just another game, you know, in this current generation.
There were a lot of rumors flying around about the launch titles for the Switch this week, which one I heard as well is that Mario game actually looks to be nearing, at least I think they're just polishing it up right now, is what a lot of different retailers have said to.
Well, and that's what I love about this. What's going on right now is that there's just a lot of rumors going around. Yeah. I love that. I mean, I think it's great. I love that we're speculating so much about a freaking Nintendo console because we haven't been doing that.
Nintendo knows what it's doing.
Yeah. So anyway, I think portable Pokemon has always kind of been the idea, but with this being a more portable console, I'm loving the idea of having a, you know, Pokemon that I could play in my living room, which I could do before, but
and if you think about it, this almost seals the fact that the 3DS is going to have support for only so long, probably another 2 years is my guess, before they completely shut it down. But it will, you know, then the Switch will replace that. So then Pokemon has to have a home on the Switch, and introducing it now is probably the best idea.
Well, and I think there's a good portion of people out there that love the idea of having Pokemon on the big screen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I know I am. Shit, I'm excited
I don't want to... I'm an old man now, you know? I don't want to crane my neck down to look at some tiny screen.
Yeah, you know?
It's so far.
I'm getting on in years.
Yeah.
Pokemon Crystal, that was the other one I was trying to think of.
Crystal is really good. That was probably one of my favorites.
That was the one that went alongside Gold and Silver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to think of. But
stepping back a little bit here, I didn't mention that the Steep open beta is actually going on right now.
Oh, boy.
And it's going to be going until the end of Sunday. So we will post this today. Mm-hmm. So hopefully any of your early listeners can get in on that. There's also an ESO free weekend, Elder Scrolls Online.
Play that game. Do it.
Yeah, it's the newest date, the Tamriel Unlimited update. It looks to be kind of a reinvigoration for this MMO.
Mm-hmm. Which is good because I think it's a good game. I mean, it took me forever and a day to actually try and get it. I've been trying to play this game since Thursday, Friday, and basically what kept happening, it's not the game's fault. This is actually my fault. My hard drive was fragmented. And so I downloaded and uninstalled this game 3 times, and on the third time it finally worked because I kept getting disk write errors on Steam.
Oh, wow.
And because of that, when the game would fully install, it wouldn't be fully installed. So it would just kept giving me weird errors. And so I literally uninstalled and reinstalled this game 3 times, which, by the way, this game is 60 gigs. So even on my 100 megabit connection, that takes a while.
Yeah.
And then you have to install it. And so anyway, long story short, got it working, played a little bit last night. It is fun. It is a good game. I haven't played it since the beta, so the game's been out for a while, so it's been a while. But
yeah, it's really fun. I kind of got burnt on MMOs, I realized, as I stepped back into it this weekend, and I was like, I am just not ready for this yet.
Well, and that's a game, though, that I love because that's a pay once model, which is great because you buy that game and you're you could play it. And they do have the microtrans. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes and no. There are a lot of benefits to being the premium member, though.
Oh, do they actually have I didn't know they have
you can do a ESO, I don't remember what it's called, but their subscription, and you get some money for the store every month. You get some sort of mount. You get I think crafting stuff, levels. You get them faster.
What is their microtransaction model? Is it purely cosmetic, or is it you get gear?
It is for the release of the game. It allows you to play all of the content from the initial release. So past that, any expansions, you're going to have to buy them.
Okay.
But you can earn that premium currency in game. I don't know how, you could probably get 1 out of that. I still think the best deal with that game is to go subscription, because you do get the extra stuff from the store as well as the little leveling up boost. Maybe later on down the road, if I wasn't playing it as much, I wouldn't do that. But if I really wanted to get into that MMO, I would do the subscription for sure. Because otherwise it's going to take forever and a year to get anywhere.
Right. Well, that's interesting. I'm gonna definitely play it throughout the weekend and give it a fair shot.
I'll be interested to hear what you experience next week.
I'm in the same boat as you, though. I actually have stopped playing World of Warcraft. Not because it's bad. Legion is great. Probably the best expansion that they've ever had. It's amazing, and I love playing it. There's just so many games to play, and I work a full-time job.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I come home from work, I just don't want to sit down and spend 3 hours on World of Warcraft grinding for some crap, which this expansion did a lot to make me feel better about all that. But
and I would almost say that this expansion has captured the biggest best storytelling they've ever done. But
easily. Yeah.
Beyond that, for me, MMOs are work. And so now that I'm starting to put in more work into this podcast, to the website, to all this stuff, I don't want to sit down and do work when I play a game.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
Which is why that casual, climbing a mountain thing is so appealing.
Right. Or just getting on Titanfall and just spending an hour shooting some people. That's awesome.
So good. So a couple more things. So there's free DLC for Final Fantasy 15. If you have pre-ordered that game,
is that the one that's not out yet?
Yes, that one comes out on the 29th of November, and
Gotcha.
My December will be dedicated to it.
Yep. 10 days. 10 days until we never hear from Justin ever again.
Yeah, I'm going to be sick all December, and there will be no podcasts. No, I'm just kidding. There's free DLC, though, if you just complete some little mini games, and you just do a Google search for Final Fantasy 15 Road Trip. If you pre-order through Amazon, you get like this blinged out car skin, which is pretty cool looking. And you get it for $43. So I went with the physical copy for $43 because that is quite a discount. And actually, we should talk about that more another week. But I'm kind of curious what that means for GameStop.
Yeah.
Anyway, without further ado, here's the news.
Okay, so...
News!
You're going to keep that in, right? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. For Grizzled Game News, I'm Matt Stalka. Our top story tonight is several
taken to a new level.
announced that they want to
Ready for a new Assassin's Creed? Well, you might be waiting a long time.
Because the Steam sale is looking like a doozy. All right, so the NES Classic released, and it seems to be pretty well received.
Yeah, it seems like it's a solid. It's the best emulation that the NES has ever seen.
30 pretty solid games.
Yeah, 30 great games. The controllers are way too short.
Yeah, that's the biggest complaint that I've, besides the fact that some people are having a hard time actually getting it, the biggest complaint I've heard is the controller length.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, I do. They want you to be, because they didn't stick a home button on that controller.
Right.
So you have to be next to the console to go home. But if you play with a classic controller, you can just hit the home button on that controller.
See, I mean, and that's nice, but it's also like, why couldn't they just have put the button on the damn controller?
I'd almost wonder if there's going to be a version 2 later on that maybe has a little bit different selection of games, and they learn from this.
They just want to sell you more things.
Well, of course they're gonna definitely do an SNES, and they're gonna the
SNES
now that this
one
is successful. They're also driving demand by limiting quantity.
Yeah,
like they did with
about that.
The Wii.
The SNES one I would totally buy, but the problem with that is how many games are you going to put on the SNES? I mean,
how many?
Yeah, because I mean, are you going to pick like the 30 best games of the SNES and throw it on there? I mean, there's more than 30 great games on the SNES.
Or like 15, because you're talking a lot longer titles.
Right. Yeah.
I would say Link to the Past goes on there.
Chrono Trigger.
You know what?
Yeah,
Let's. I could dive into this, and then we wouldn't get anywhere. But this is something we'll table, and we'll bring next week.
So I don't know if this is necessarily news, but it's news to me, so we're putting it in here.
Yeah.
GeForce Experience 3.0.
Yeah. That thing is cool looking.
Oh my god. I've never been so excited about installing drivers for my graphics card.
I've never been so excited to open the GeForce Experience and not have it just crash everything.
Yeah, this is well received. This has been needed for a very long time, because I feel like the way that GeForce Experience used to work is I would go to update my drivers, and half the time it just wouldn't work. So I would go long stretches of not updating my graphics drivers, which is not the right answer.
Right, and so the GeForce Experience is the NVIDIA interface to locate and set all your game settings if you want to crank them to 11, or to, I think now you can share, so you can stream.
Yeah, the integrated,
and you can look at and get your drivers.
Yeah, the integrated streaming and recording stuff is actually super good. It's super easy too. I mean, it takes 5 seconds and you're recording or streaming. I also like that it adjusts the graphic settings of games to your card. So like you go into the game and you already know that this is pretty much the best it's going to run on your computer with your current settings. Now, I mean, if you're like me, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to mess around with them anyway, because that's just what I like to do. But if you're maybe not that kind of person and you just want to go in and have it work, then that's pretty great.
It almost makes me wonder. So I look at the GeForce Experience and I look at Nintendo having the Tegra chip, and I go, are they going to have this share feature? Is it going to be through NVIDIA is there going to be a partnership.
Right. So I just realized that GeForce Experience 3.0 was released on September 7th, so we're a little bit behind on that.
Little behind, but it doesn't matter because we didn't have a podcast then.
Yeah, we did not have a podcast, so it is news to us.
Yeah.
But no, it's I love it. I think it's great. I'm really just interested in the built-in streaming and also the capture. It's constantly like not recording, but it has the ability to record up to 5 minutes of previous gameplay. So
right.
if you're playing and then you're like, oh, I just did this cool thing, push the button and now you have a recording of it.
Yeah. You've got the Xbox feature now, which is that please record 30 seconds back because that was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
So it looks like Overwatch also has a free weekend.
Yeah, it's also on sale. I don't have the price, but I believe it's on all platforms. One thing I also wanted to say about the ESO one is that it's only for PC and PS4. They have said that the Xbox One will get its own free weekend. So, I mean, silver lining there.
Yeah, it's because of these partnerships that we're seeing this.
I mean, it's unfortunate because, the end user kind of suffers. But, Anyway, yeah, Overwatch free weekend. That's a game that I keep telling myself I need to get back into. Do you have that feeling?
I keep saying it.
I know.
But I keep saying it.
Anytime any of my friends or anytime I see anything about Overwatch, I'm like, man, I need to play that game. And then months will go by and I haven't even. I think I played it.
If I had like 4 semi-competitive PC players for Overwatch, I would play it more often.
Let's make an Overwatch team. Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Maybe that's our January when there are no games.
Yeah, well, when we've played all the games that are going to come out by the end of this year.
Yeah.
So Overwatch free weekend, definitely go play that. Here's a game I want to talk about.
Oh, and that's on all the consoles, isn't it? It's consoles and PC?
Overwatch, yeah, that's PS4, Xbox, and PC, all across the board.
Yeah, the free weekend, though. I mean, it applies to all of them?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay,
yep.
Cool.
Which is awesome. So get out and play Overwatch.
Keep doing it, Blizzard.
So let's talk about Killing Floor 2. So have you played it? Played it at all?
I haven't played the full release. I didn't realize it was out of early access.
I didn't either. I just so happened to be looking on Steam this morning and boom. So this is a very interesting game, Killing Floor 2, because I was a huge fan of the first game. Very huge fan. Pretty big fan of the second game. But I and a lot of other people was not a fan of the way that they approached early access, because what you had was microtransactions in a game before the game released. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, because the ratings for Killing Floor 2 now are very, I believe, very positive on Steam. But when it was still in early access, it was getting really shit reviews because, they would not... So they weren't putting out the classes or perks, as they're called, and instead we're adding hey, here's this new piece of cosmetic gear that you can buy, and a lot of people were rubbed the wrong way. And me personally, as someone who's already has an aversion to microtransactions, I was really disappointed that was the route that they took. And to be honest, I haven't played the game in a while. I'm going to play it now that's fully released, but I haven't played the game in a while because I was like, okay, well, clearly releasing this thing is not your full priority. I'll come back when you do that.
So what was hard for me when I played Killing Floor 2 with you a couple times is that it seemed system menus seemed really clunky, and yes, it was in early access, so it probably was clunky, and they were probably figuring stuff out.
But instead of focusing on that, they were focusing on selling you more stuff, which is what I had a problem with.
For sure, I never felt like they pushed it on me, though. I would say that.
No, they don't.
I'm of the mentality, so yeah, you're adverse to microtransactions. I'm of the mentality that microtransactions are good if they're optional.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I still want to be able to get the coolest looking stuff, but I understand that games cost a lot more money than they used to, and we got to figure out new ways to nickel and dime the consumers so they could actually make a buck.
And it's not like any of that stuff was necessary in Killing Floor 2. I guess my point is not that I hate microtransactions, because I don't. I actually, I buy shit through microtransactions all the time because you can't fucking get away from it nowadays.
Right.
But, I guess my point is that instead of, if they would have done microtransactions, done the whole business model that they currently did, but then waited until after it got released, I'd have been fine with that. But I think a lot of people were like, well, why are you giving me microtransactions?
Because it's in early access. It's like, I paid for early access. Give me the content that you have now.
And that being said, they were releasing quite a bit of content in there, but I guess I hated it.
I still felt like for the price tag, that was an early access game that let me down entirely.
Yeah, and I'd be really interested to play it now that it's like fully out and fully released, and you know, I'd be interested to go back in there and kind of play it a little bit and just see how far it's come.
And it's like the price tag, like they could have made up for it, you know, in quantity, but what they ended up doing is alienating a large customer base who can't afford that early access
Was it
price.
$40?
Yeah.
Well, was it 40?
It was 40 at least when I bought it.
Right.
And so the queue times were huge for that reason.
Yeah, because nobody was playing it.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, there were people playing it, but it was hard to jump in and
so if you're from a systems standpoint, if you're trying to test your system, get the most people you can in there. I don't think they had a free weekend for Killing Floor either.
They probably did at some point. I'm sure.
Killing Floor 2.
So it's $30 now, but I think early access it was more expensive because I remember paying more for that.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they dropped it down for that reason, to try and get more people in to test those systems.
Yeah.
EVE Online goes free to play.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You ever play EVE?
I did. Yeah, I played it a little bit. It was really popular, like right when I was out of high school.
I remember trying to play it when they had back in the days of 14-day free trials, which nobody does anymore. But I remember playing one of those, and I remember playing it like once and being like, there's just no way I'm going to get into this game.
Yeah,
which is weird because it's everything that I want. What's that?
Sorry, it needs a manual to like actually understand what the hell's going on in that game.
Or a better freaking tutorial, which maybe they have now. That's another game that I haven't played in a while that I'm going to go play.
There's probably some YouTubers out there who's just...
But are you going to dedicate watching, 5-10 hours of YouTube footage just to understand how to play a video game? I mean,
I did for WoW.
I mean, okay, you know what? Fair enough. But yeah, I'm going to give EVE a fair shot because I think it's one of those games that's been around forever. And it's a really good, complex game that someone can really sink their teeth into, but I think that really puts a lot of people off. Now, going free to play, I think is really smart for them because their model is you have to pay a subscription. And you might even actually have to buy it, I don't know, but they still do the $15 a month subscription model just to play the game, or at least they did before it went free to play. So
I want to say that even when it was when it was subscription based, there was also still like investing real money into your ships.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing. I mean, they do have the kind of like the WoW token. You can do that, and then get money in game.
I imagine it's going to be an option, but they're not going to take away premium subscriptions.
No, and I guarantee you that they're not. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I had the story up, like I don't think they're going to do it. But I think it's. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. I think it might be a move because of the dissatisfied consumer base of No Man's Sky. It might be a move to try and get even more people in on that game. And I'm sure it's lost quite a bit of people over the years. But there's still a really tight, large core.
I think the people who play that game are like fans for life.
What
I mean? Like, I think if you're hardcore enough to really be into EVE Online, you're
I almost wonder if they're just trade analysts just doing something else.
They're just day traders that in their off time play EVE Online. That sounds like a really boring life.
That does sound awful.
That sounds like you're just always working.
You know what's not working though?
The
nudity in Watch Dogs 2.
I knew this was coming and I was going to try and not just laugh my head off, but
so the name of this podcast episode is Ubity Nudity.
Oh,
and
God.
It's because there is apparently just like a there is no discretion in Watch Dogs 2 at launch or
random
at
nudity.
Pre-release. Just nudity, yeah. So there's like a woman with crotchless panties that someone saw, took a picture, posted to Twitter, and immediately got banned.
And then got banned. What?
Yeah, which if it's your fault for leaving it in the game, that just seems mean.
Why was it even in the game in the fucking first place?
Exactly. There's male genitalia everywhere
just
as well.
Swinging around, just wieners everywhere.
Hanging out. I mean, I know they're trying to recreate San Francisco, but they're going a little far there.
Oh yes, I love that. Yeah, that's really great.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I was like, "Are you kidding me? How did this ever go gold then? There are so many things in place to stop this."
And like, why was it even there in the first place?
Disgruntled employee.
Yeah,
I mean,
was that a disgruntled employee who just threw it in there and was just like, ha, they'll never know?
Well, and that's the thing is, it's not on every character. So it could have just been that. My theory is that the way that they create those people are they make them, anatomic. I can't say that word ever. Anatomically correct. Mm-hmm. And then they take it out later. That's because when you're creating someone and trying to make them walk normal and all that good stuff, why wouldn't you do that in the first place?
Yeah.
Especially when you're implementing a physics engine.
Somebody probably just did that and then forgot to take it out.
Yep.
Oh man, that's a bad day for whoever's job that was.
I think the worst part is now there's a copy of Watch Dogs 2 with that out there. Mm-hmm. So that is going to be modded or at least, revert the patch so that you can see that.
You're just going to have wieners everywhere.
Wieners. But let's be honest. There's already nudity mods for everything that's out there. Mm-hmm. So if you want to see the polygonal boobies, you can.
The polygonal boobies.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's the name of this episode. That's a better name. Polygonal boobies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're struggling this week. I'm sorry.
Struggling for content. It's been a slow news week.
It has. It's been more like let's play this. So let's go right into that. Matt, what the heck have you been playing?
Well, I was trying to play Titanfall 2 and I was trying to play ESO, but so this is my story. So I was telling about the ESO thing and I tried like 3 times and then I had to defrag my hard drive, which by the way takes forever. Mm-hmm. So defrag your hard drives, people. And so anyway, well, the first time that happened, I was like, oh, no problem. I just got Titanfall 2 in the mail from Gamefly. I'm just going to run on over to my Xbox and just play that instead. Nope. That is not how that happened. I plugged that disc in and then had to wait over an hour while that bitch installed.
The digital era.
And then had to do the patch, which it turns out my Xbox is not hooked up to the internet, so I had to do that as well.
Nailed it.
So that was all fun and games.
Sounds like a huge headache.
That day I didn't play any games. But no, I've been playing Titanfall 2. Single player is good. It's not a great story, but I actually don't care about that, which is kind of weird to say in a single player campaign. I just like being in the Titan and fucking people up. Like that's just the greatest thing ever.
Well, the world is interesting enough. Oh, you know what we did glance over? I actually want to go back on that note, is that Ubisoft is straying away from more heavily scripted games, which I think this kind of plays into that. I think people are starting to see that not all games at least, need this cinematic storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people were complaining oh, Call of Duty's campaign this time is kind of dumb, and Battlefield 1's campaign is kind of dumb. Well, that's not why you're playing that fucking game. You're playing that game for the multiplayer.
Exactly.
The single player is pretty much, in my opinion, there to introduce you to the game, and Titanfall, introduce you to things like wall running, how to use your Titan. They don't want the first time that you ever get in a Titan to be in a live multiplayer game where people are going to yell at you because you have no idea what you're doing.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Which is great, and honestly, there's a story there, which is okay. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just not necessarily something that's going to resonate with me.
It gets better,
But I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not playing that game for the story. I'm playing it to go kill some people in a Titan.
Because the movement is so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's really, really great. It's really fluid. I have a feeling I'm going to just get freaking dumpstered in multiplayer because I'm so terrible at console shooting. And this is a game where it's
I'll help you.
I feel like it's really going to set apart those people who are really good and who are just, I feel like there's not, and I haven't played the multiplayer yet, but I feel like there's not really a whole lot of moments where somebody just got lucky and got you with a cheap shot. I feel like this is
Did you play Titanfall 1?
briefly. They had like an open beta or like a free weekend or something, and I played it on PC, but that was it.
So then you know about like there being little minions that spawn as well.
Yes, I know that, yeah.
And I almost think that with Titanfall, and Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, what that allows for is not just getting murdered every 2 seconds, because you actually really have to like look to know if it's a player or if it's a bot. And I think what that allows for is someone to play that game and feel rewarded and not be good at it.
Good, because that's probably going to be me for at least a month while I'm playing that game. Do you get anything from killing them? Is there like a money type system in the game, or? Yeah,
there are several different modes. There's bounty. I think it's bounty hunt, I want to say is what it is, and it's like they call out an AI on the map, and then you race the other team to kill that AI.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of similar to Halo, but a lot less time to bring them down. And you're banking, you're taking in cash the entire time that you're killing stuff, and then you deposit that into a vault, and then when you hit X number, you win. So it's all about not only attacking the other team, but getting to these AIs fast enough and banking every time and not getting killed when you're going to the bank. So it brings all these really interesting elements of first-person shooting, and it really makes you so it's a giant open map, right? But because of the fact that you have to run to a vault, you're always going to run down that corridor where you have to look over your shoulder and check all your corners, because there's probably someone waiting for you. So it also brings it in really tight and close quarter, which is super fun in Titanfall.
Well, and then on top of that, you add double jumps and wall running and all kinds of other craziness, and I'm sure the multiplayer is just bonkers.
And cloak and stim and all that good stuff.
That's got to be. And then on top of that, oh wait, there's a Titan. Oh shit! You know what I mean? God, that just sounds so great. All of that sounds amazing.
So good.
So I've been playing that. Like I said, I've just been playing the single player. I haven't, I'm in really no rush to play it. It's fun, but I'm just not in any crazy rush. And then I've also been playing a lot of RimWorld, which
I've noticed that.
It's kind of the weirdest game to be addicted to, because that's a game that just punishes you a lot for just everything, and it's like, you ever play Dwarf Fortress?
Nope.
Yeah, see, and every person I've ever asked that question to has said that. I've never met anyone ever who has been like, oh yeah, I loved Dwarf Fortress. No one's ever even freaking heard of it, But Dwarf Fortress is a game that I love. It's a solid game. Everyone should go out and play it, and then play it for an hour and never play it again, because it's probably what 95% of people are going to do.
Yeah.
But I like that style of game where it's, like RimWorld, you're managing a colony of people. Usually there is, some kind of basically you're trying to make sure people don't die. Like, for instance, the one that I'm in, it's a very cold environment. So we started in the summer, and then before the winter, I had to make sure that everybody had warm clothing, and I had heaters in place. Well, to have heaters, you need to have power. To get the power, you have to, go mine some stuff. And then it's one of those, it's very easy to be like, oh crap, where'd the last 4 hours go? Because you're always just constantly solving these problems. You're like, okay, so we just started, we need to secure food. So to secure food, we need to have someone who can hunt. Blah.
So it's a heavy survival.
Yeah, and there are different AI narrators that you can have, and then beyond that, there are certain difficulty levels. So the one that I'm playing, I have it on the hardest difficulty, but she only hits you like once or twice a season. Whereas, or it might actually just be like once a season, because the other ones will hit you with like raids, and there's like all of a sudden you can have a pack of freaking manhunter wolves just come onto your map, and they're just like want to come kill you, or you could have just all kinds of random stuff that can happen. But she does it rarely, but when she does it, she hits you harder than the other ones. So so far I'm like 3 seasons in, and I've only been hit with one raid. So I have a feeling the next one that's coming is going to be like 20 dudes knocking at my door trying to blow my shit up. But
wow.
It's a very interesting game that not a lot of people are going to be into, because it can be very stressful. And I feel like a lot of people, they already have enough stress in their life, so when they play video games, it's just to kind of relax. But that's a game that the sense of accomplishment is pretty great. And this time through, I'm actually playing it modded because with the Steam Workshop, it's just insane the amount of stuff that people are doing to this game. Because it's a very simple game art-wise. It doesn't look crazy.
Some of those are the best, though. I love that when the community really just grabs onto something.
And this is definitely a game that has a cult following. This is, it's still an alpha, alpha 15, because I want to say it's one dude who's doing the game, and every time he puts another alpha out, it's just like leaps and bounds ahead of the last one. Like this new alpha added a whole social aspect to the game. So before you just had characters and they would just all interact, but they never had feelings at all towards each other. So now there's a really interesting AI where you can have people who hate each other. You can have people, fall in love and get married. You can have people who are related. You can have, maybe we just got raided, but one of the guys who was a raider was related to this other person. So now their, mood is going to suffer because they basically just killed their brother or whatever. You know what I mean? So that adds an entirely different level of complexity to the game because
it's adding systems on systems on systems.
Dude, it's systems on systems on top of systems. Like it's such a hard game to explain to people who...
I have a friend at work who might really enjoy that.
Yeah. So that's a game that, like I said, it sinks its hooks into you in a way that, like, you're like, oh, okay, well, now I got to do this, and I got to do this, and then, like, okay, how am I going to solve this problem? And, okay, I need to get here, to do that, I need to, and...
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
How do you solve a problem like survival? Anyway.
So, anyway, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I don't think I've been playing anything else.
I started Doom, and
how is it?
Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't get very far before I got motion sick. I have this terrible problem where